Testing, testing. Oh, perfect. All right, so we have sound, which is great, and it's like crystal clear. All right, let's get the Instagram going. We're finally live. I can't believe this. The devil has been busy today, honey. Woo, baby Jesus. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. All right, are you guys ready? We're about to go live again. Start live. Check that connection, honey. All right, we're back in action, guys. Just gonna wait for some people to hop in. What's up, everybody? I want to wish everybody a happy Friday and to another episode of T-Files with your host, Amaya Jade, and today we are live in color. Hi, Instagram. And so we are filming T-Files Live for the first time. And so today, as you could probably tell, it's just me by myself. And it's been a pretty interesting day. So I wanted to spill all the tea because if you follow me on social media, you'll know that it's been quite the day. It started with my Twitter getting hacked by Lexi. Who is Lexi? Do you guys remember Lexi from T-Files? My co-host. If you've been following my social media, we had got into an altercation in my car where she made some very racist comments that were not appreciated at all. And so I basically put her on blast. And, you know, I left it at that. I wanted people to see her the way that that I was kind of seeing her. You know, she would smile in your face, talk behind your back, and then she would say these little sly things every now and again, and I just brushed off like, girl. And even in some of the T-File episodes, you'll see like this girl, there's something wrong with her. And so the day started off with her hacking my Twitter. And then I get an email from YouTube talking about she coined the term T-Files. Mind you, the whole YouTube was my idea. I did another podcast called Tea Time with Cake and Lemonistat. And I really wanted to do something like that again for the LGBT community. So I brought it to her like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Would you like to be a part of it? And so I brought all the ideas to the table. I had all the equipment. As you can see, today we had some technical difficulties, but I'm always with the technology, whether it's my camera, whether it's the editing, the platforms, the advertising. I did 100% of the work all the time. So it was, you know, it was my passion. And so now to see that I cut her off, I cut her out of the show, I cut her off of my friends list, now she's like coming to attack my work. And so I was like, girl, I own everything. I own T-Files, I own the content, everything. So she was like, oh, it's trademarked. If you read the whole letter she wrote to YouTube, it was quite funny. But there's no legal standing. It's not trademarked. Actually, I put in an application for it to be trademarked. So yeah, so I'll be hopefully owning that. So yeah. So the whole big thing is it started with just that idea. And she used to treat my friend like crap. Like we met her at the bar at Translucent in Long Beach. And she could never remember my friend's name. She would always like come up to me, oh, you're so pretty, blah, 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 try to talk to me like real catty style. So I was like, this girl is kind of shady. But she was, you know, kind of iffy. And then she kind of grew on me a little bit. She wanted me to be the photographer for her night because she was the hostess of Translucent at Executive Suites Long Beach. Which, if you don't know, it's a trans party. Yeah, so I was the photographer several times, 2 times. And then, so we kind of had that kind of relationship, like business. And then we went out to lunch. That's when I pitched her the idea of the YouTube. I was like, hey, I want to collab with somebody because I didn't just want to do it by myself. Because it's always fun to do it with your friends or, you know, other people, but it's hard to get other people involved. And now I see exactly why. So, pitched her the idea. And like I said, it was always me driving out to Huntington Beach? No, Redondo Beach. Me driving with my equipment all the way out to Redondo Beach to film the YouTube episode. And the first episode, it was cool. When I got to her house, it was actually really gross. She was in the process of getting evicted, I came to find out. And there was like literally dog. She has a dog and a cat. There was like shit on the floor. There was like piss on the carpet. It was gross. And then so we filmed the first episode there and I was like, girl, this is really gross. I didn't tell her that, but I was like, hey, you know, we can start shooting content either elsewhere or we can shoot like at my house. So she started coming out here and I was like, I was doing the editing. I did all the advertising. I think she posted about T-Files like once or twice. But for the most part, like I said, I did everything. All she had to do is come and I gave her like a little cue card of stuff to talk about. And so it kind of got to the point where I was like getting a little bit fed up. Like after the 5th or 6th episode, I was like, because I think we have 5 on the site, but we have a Valentine's Day one. And that's kind of where things started to go bad. So by that time I was just like, you're not really bringing in anything to the table. And you're basically getting a free ride. And like, she wouldn't even show up. She would be like, yeah, girl, I'm on my way. So I would set everything up and then she wouldn't even show up. Which you could see one of my text messages. I was pretty heated in the on my Instagram. I was like, have some fucking respect. Be a grown-ass woman. You're in your mid-30s. Like, get your whole life together. So, because I'm doing you a favor and I'm trying to make something out of nothing, basically. Like, you know, I'm trying to involve you in something great. So, it just got to the point where I was just considering at that point, like, cutting her off, like, and so I stopped filming. And that's why we kind of took a break from T-Files, because I was just, like, trying to decide how to, like, smoothly transition her out so I could be, like, more positive and take T-Files in a new direction. Because if you watch the videos, it's just literally me sitting there looking at her crazy and correcting her. Because she says some off-the-wall stuff. So, around that time, there was this last, what was this last tea event? I forget what the night was, but she had another porn star that was supposed to be dancing. And so the girl ended up not showing up. And so she hit me up like, hey girl, instead of doing photography, can you dance? And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's fine. I used to be a go-go girl. She was like, yeah, tweet it. You have all the followers, da 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 da. And so last minute she added me. No, she didn't even, I had to make a flyer because she went on like some trip to Mexico, like some cruise. And I was like, how do you like just put all the advertising on me? So she gets back like, hey girl, can you advertise? Da 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 da. I was like, yeah, sure, give me a flyer. So I ended up making my own flyer and posting it. And so I danced that night, and even that night, like, she was just saying some off-the-wall stuff. She ended up paying one girl, I think like $25, and she made a catty remark like, "This is all you're worth." And I was just like, whoa. And then come to find out, she's like soliciting at the bar she's hosting at, like propositioning guys, trying to take them home, and she was just off the wall. And come to find out, like, this girl is into like she's on Arrows and all the things, which is cool. Like, do your thing. If you're gonna be in the industry, own it, Miss Roxy Hart. Own that shit. And so she was just being mad catty about it. And she's just like, she was on a lot of drugs. She ended up, I think she assaulted her boyfriend at one point. She like hit him with the wine bottle. And yeah, so she was into all this crazy stuff. And so that's when I was just like, I'm gonna cut ties with you. And then she called me because she needed a favor. She wanted me to take her to a client. And so me being the sweet person that I am, I decided, yeah, girl, I'll take you, you know, fuck it. It's in my neighborhood. And that's when the whole altercation with the racism stuff started, when she was like, oh, say it the white way. And I was like, I was looking at her, and before that, she like had gone on this like 20-minute tangent, like this rant. And that I only posted like literally 2 parts, maybe 3 parts of that clip. And it was just all disgusting. It's just her just talking all this garbage. And so in the video, you'll see she was like, oh, say it the white way. And I was like, what does that even mean? And then she was like, basically calling me petty. And then where I drew the line is where she started calling me dirt. Like I was beneath her. And to me, I was just thinking like, I'm doing all of this stuff for you. You should be grateful. Like you're literally sitting in my car talking down to me and disrespecting me. And at that point, I was like, are you done? I was like, get out of my car. You could walk or get you an Uber, whatever the fuck you want to do. But I'm not going to sit here. Like I said, anything with racism is very triggering to me as a black trans woman of color. Like a biracial trans woman of color. Like you're not going to sit there and call me dirt, or you're not going to disrespect me, especially in my own car. I was like, how dare you? This is 2018 and like we're dealing with racism? What the hell? Like we're a minority of a minority. So I really wasn't understanding like where she was coming from, or where she got the audacity to even open her mouth and say something like that to me. So I kicked her out of my car. I posted that clip. I posted about it. And I also, because the last part of it was she was like trying to intimidate me, like, oh, you're non-rehirable in Long Beach. And I was like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your little gig or whatever. Like, I'm good. Like, I got my own things going for me. You know, I have a lot more to lose than you do. So, kick rocks. Because seriously, I wanted to put my hands on her. But I was like, I have so much going for me. Like, my life is amazing. I feel sorry for you. Get out of my car. So I posted the clip. And then what made it worse, like to add insult to injury, was that when I brought it to the club owner's attention, we had like a long conversation one night about it. And they just basically were telling me like to let it go and don't say anything. And they're both white. I think one's Italian, one's white. And so for me, that just like made me even more mad. I was like, how could you even think to tell me that? Like, sorry, my dog is choking. How could you even think to tell me that? You okay? Sorry, guys. So I was like, how could you even open your mouth to tell me something like that? Like to say, just let it go. I was hot. I was like, fuck that. Like, I have every right to be mad. You know, it's racial now. Like, you're attacking who I am as a person and as a trans woman. And then for them to be like, just let it go. And they basically didn't do anything about it. She's still is the hostess of the club. And so what I did is I went on Facebook and I was like, actually, like, I'm going to post this in the Los Angeles LGBT Nightlife Facebook page. So I did. And there was a bunch of comments, a bunch of reactions. So I basically got banned from that group for posting that. And basically I'm the bad guy for speaking up for myself. I tried to be really nice to this girl, and I was like, even with that, like, I didn't put her business all the way out there, and I wasn't going to. But just this petty stuff, she's gonna have to learn through somebody that I'm the wrong one to mess around with, because I'm not gonna put up with that kind of stuff. So it continued to escalate, and with them not doing anything about her, I took it into my own hands, and I encourage you guys to do the same. It's the Translucent Night at Executive Suites in Long Beach. I would say go on their Yelp page, go on their Facebook page, leave comments, let them know that this is fucked up and this girl is crazy. And to have someone representing the trans community in that capacity, like, is really horrible. I would want someone who's all inclusive, who brings the community together rather than divide it. And I mean, it honestly, for them, I feel bad because it just makes their club look even worse. Like, but obviously with their response, they didn't care. So I just encourage everyone to stand up against this racism, because it's really disgusting. And as you can see, she's continuing to attack me through hacking my Twitter and through trying to get my Facebook or my YouTube project shut down. Like, come on, guys. You think I'm gonna give this up? Like, I worked so hard and you guys have stuck with me, and I'm just gonna keep going. Whether it's if I have to take my content off of YouTube and keep it on Ustream, or if I have to take to Instagram or Facebook Live, like, I'm gonna keep this platform going because, like I said, I worked for it, I worked really hard, and I feel almost obligated that I have, like, something to prove to you guys because you stuck with me so long, and since day one. So that is it for me for tea time. Not tea time, for Tea Files today. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. But on the plus side, I do have a lot of great content coming to Tea Files. We have a really amazing person that we're going to be interviewing next week, another trans woman of color who is a model, an actress. She's really talented, and I'm really excited to bring her on board. And then we also have, like, a couple more interviews and things lined up. There's an event this weekend that I will be recording and posting about, so stay tuned, and thank you guys for sticking with me. And that is it for Tea Files today. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday weekend. Go out there and make a difference. Love you guys. Bye.